Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for Everything Arsenal and welcome to a special video. I don't know about special, but it's a surprising kind of video. We never knew we were going to be doing this on a Monday. We thought you were going to be speaking about Arsenal and Fulham, but nothing like that. And I have a special guest joining me, Arsenal fan, Arsenal content creator, Cozy from Arsenal's podcast to help me talk about the European Super League and Arsenal officially joining it. How are you?
I'm okay, bro. I'm fine. I'm just disgusted.
Yeah, I'm awesome as well. I know you have a lot of knowledge in this. So before you even heard about the news last night, I think before the Leicester game, when the rumors came out, what were you thinking?
The truth is, when I heard about this, it was more like something that is huge, that is not going to happen, because it has been here. Arsene Wenger talked about it in 2018, 2019. It's been here. It's been proposed, and I thought, probably it's not going to happen. It's not going to be announced because it had been scheduled for what 10:30 UK time. Then it was extended. So I was not actually expecting it. I was not expecting to become reality. It was just mad, and I just look at it as, I thought it was going to be total madness that never become reality. But now here we go. It is real.
Yeah, I was also thinking like, no way they can announce it today. It maybe announce it as a threat so that UEFA can do something that they had agreed upon maybe before. But the way it was announced immediately, I was very, very surprised. So I was also very stunned. Good thing you brought up the Wenger thing because Wenger a couple of years ago, maybe 3, 4 years ago, even before he left Arsenal, this was his quote on screen right now. Like he knew about everything that was going on. He definitely knew about everything that was going on. He actually said that he predicted the Super League will replace the Premier League at weekends, leaving domestic competition to be played on weeknights. So that is Arsene Wenger. So when Wenger said that a few years ago, did you ever believe it?
Because his tweet was funny. His reply was funny because he was asked, what is the next plan, and said the next, the next step, probably you're gonna have a Super League playing over the weekends and domestic league playing during weekdays. So it was more like someone hinting onto something that sarcastically,
Yeah.
not with a lot of realism. Nobody thought it was going to come, and even if it had come, nobody thought it was going to be this bad. So I just went back and I looked at those interviews from Arsene Wenger, and I was like, wow, what a man we had in football, and we were wrong. We were so wrong about him. He took on the criticism from Arsenal and non-Arsenal fans, but he was a real one, just a real one.
Yeah, I think we have your screen here. Maybe you can share for us what the website said about everything.
Yeah, exactly. So yesterday at exactly midnight, actually 30 minutes past midnight UK time, the 12 clubs did confirm that they have joined as founding members of a new midweek competition known as the European Super League. So Arsenal also also put on their website, and they said we have joined 11 European clubs as founding members of a new midweek competition, the European Super League. Of course, 11 clubs, that makes us the 12th. They're lots more to bring the competition to life, and we will continue to update our supporters as things do progress. More information can be found in a joint statement released by founding clubs below. In the meantime, our focus is finishing this season as strongly as possible. And that is what they said. Our leading European football clubs announced a new Super League. 12 of our of Europe's leading football clubs, have today confirmed and come together to announce that they have agreed to establish a new midweek competition, the Super League, governed by its founding clubs. AC Milan, Arsenal. That is where I was so disgusted. AC Milan, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, City, United, Real Madrid, and Tottenham Hotspur have all come together. I think for now that's all we know. We need to look at, because those are the 12 clubs that have confirmed, with the prospect that 3 more clubs will join, including Leipzig, Bayern Munich, and FC Porto. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but Fabrizio said, I don't know whether Bayern are still afraid of the fan base and everything, and their integrity, because Fabrizio said that Bayern is still very, very strong in its position. And Dortmund have also released the statement saying they are not going to join. But FC Porto, I don't know whether they're going to join, because they're being looked at as a potential prospect to make it 15 clubs.
Yeah. So before we even get into the Arsenal perspective or the Arsenal viewpoints, let's say if you are like the boss at UEFA or the boss at FIFA or FA, what would you do first of all? Would you like ban these teams immediately? Because that is what I would have done. I'd have been like, you guys are interested in another competition, you're done for this season. Would you do like from like literally right now? What would you do if you're in charge of UEFA?
Exactly. Let me just answer your question straight away. Then I'm going to also bring in the UEFA perspective, if you allow me. As UEFA, there have been discussions. And if I'm UEFA, I know why are these people trying to break away? Is it because we have dubbed it money, and we know, it's strongly written all over it that money. But the question is, haven't there been any mismanagements in UEFA and FIFA that pushing these clubs away from European football, from these European competitions, because they're not fighting the domestic leagues. However much this idea is harming domestic football, at a very great level. What they're trying to do is they're not believing the idea of the Champions League, the new format that is coming up. All the way UEFA has been running its businesses, things dealing with FFP, things dealing with racism. There's so many weak points UEFA has had as a governing body, and coming out to say that it's going to ban players, going to ban clubs. I think you need to first think about it. What is really the root cause? Because for me, the root cause is UEFA has some, mismanagements. Sit on the table, and understand the problem. Probably call these clubs and try to understand. It is the owners, the Glazers, the Kroenkes that have come up and they have started all this, stupid fuss of everything that is happening. What about those people who are at Manchester United but love United as a club? Those people who appreciate United, the value of Manchester United. Can you sit down with these people? What UEFA has done, it is trying to proclaim itself as an overall power in Europe. If you do this, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to, ban you. My friend, what has come is money, and these clubs are very, very powerful. These are very powerful clubs, because if UEFA bans these clubs from the Premier League and the Champions League, then who's going to watch it? That's the first thing. Who's going to watch the Premier League? Who's going to watch the Champions League? It's a big question. So if I was UEFA, I need to calm down, because I've had UEFA is planning a 60 billion lawsuit against these clubs and against these. What you have to do is to calm down and understand their concerns. If it is an issue of money, can you work hand in hand with them? Probably, because FFP has been scrapped now. So, and I think I was watching Eunice talks football on Chelsea. He's a Chelsea fan, and he brought in an interesting argument that these guys are going to play a league. And there is also a league format in the Champions League model UEFA is trying to introduce. So probably you're not actually fighting that. The bad thing with this league is that it doesn't have the ability for mobility. It's not there. It's actually 15 clubs who will never, for 23 years, who will never go up or go down. They're just enjoying money. And then only 5 clubs. Imagine, out of Europe, you have 15 clubs, and then 5 clubs given an opportunity, to be part of this. It's just crazy. But also going for the radical means, UEFA is doing something wrong. You don't need to go radical. You don't need to be as radical as as they have gone. First, calm down, think about it. Probably make sure that you rectify. This is like telling people that my wife has left home, yet you've been beating her. But then you don't tell people that I've been beating my wife. So that is the point. UEFA and its rotten structure is pushing these clubs to radicalize. And now what UEFA is doing is it has created some fire to put out the fire that has been started by these clubs. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, man. Very ridiculous.
Yeah, good point you said about the no relegation thing. I do watch a few American sports, especially NBA, and that is how it is with that. There's literally two groups, the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. There is no relegation. The top 8 teams in the Western Conference and the top 8 teams in the Eastern Conference progress to the playoffs, what they're exactly trying to do with this competition. And then there's literally no relegation. So they're trying to Americanize the sport, and that is not a good thing. I can tell it's actually very, very boring knowing the same teams that are going to go through, knowing the same teams that are going to finish last every single season. It's very, very boring. So I'm not up to that. I don't support that, definitely, but I can definitely tell that UEFA have done something wrong. But the way they've approached it, the individual teams, not good. They're literally thinking about themselves and money. And when it comes to money, UEFA are not going to make any agreements with money, as you say. They are not going to agree when it comes to money. They want all the money for themselves. Obviously, you can tell, like in the next few months, few years, they might agree if these clubs like put out some money for them, the rigging and stuff. UEFA will collect the money and they'll work together. I still believe there's a way they can work together, still have the European League, Super League, and still have the Champions League, but it's going to be very hard because of the money. Everyone wants the highest share of the money, the lion's share of the money. So that is the thing. Mesut Ozil tweeted again today, not again, but he tweeted about the matter. He's obviously not happy about it, as you can see. This is one of the players that left Arsenal because of money issues. Obviously, money issues, and that is what probably UEFA and European Super League are fighting upon. Money, money, money. So he says, Cozy, could you read for us?
Exactly. Exactly. He says kids grow up dreaming to win the World Cup and the Champions League, not any Super League. The enjoyment of big games is that they only happen once or twice a year, not every week. Really hard to understand for all football fans out there. Yeah.
Okay. So what has disappointed you? Go ahead first.
Yeah. What is interesting there, and from a football fan, perspective, putting the money aside, as a football fan, truly. And we shall talk about Arsenal and how Arsenal is going to get affected as a fan base. But I don't want to see Arsenal playing Bayern all the time. I don't want to see Arsenal playing Barcelona all the time. It's going to lose meaning, It's going to mean, it's going to lose meaning, because even Arsenal Manchester United happens twice in a season or 4 times in a season when we meet in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, or probably in Europe or something, If you look at the way we have, if you look at the level at which we have played Manchester United in the league this season, if we happen to play them in the Europa League final, it's going to be twice as big as as these games we have played them in the league. You understand?
Yeah.
So Mesut Ozil makes a lot of sense. Nobody wants to see. Okay, I know. And the model is they're saying there's so many fans out there that want to see Arsenal, Madrid, Bayern Madrid. That is what they are saying. But you're going to dilute this thing, get some money out of it for the first 5 years or 6 years, and then it's going to become normal. Bayern playing Madrid. Then what are you telling us? Is it going to become that Arsenal now versus Norwich, because we don't see it on a regular basis? It's going to become the big game. It's ridiculous. The way that and these clubs have become big, and it's entertaining for them to verse each other, because we don't play them on a regular basis. When did we last play Bayern? It's a big question.
Yeah.
But imagine if we went out in the summer and added 2 midfielders, got in a right back and a left back, and qualified for the Champions League, and then we meet Bayern, it would be the tension, that feeling. They're trying to rob it. They're trying to scrap football of that. It's going to be like playing Bayern and Arsenal. It's going to become normal within no time. You understand? And the streams are going to become boring. We shall know. Next season we shall be playing. Next season we shall play. You understand? It won't make any sense. It won't really make any sense.
Yeah, you know the things that are going to happen. The next thing I had Robbie saying yesterday definitely is going to happen. This game in the NBA, usually there are like two games that are picked to be played in different countries. Like you see Boston Celtics playing against Philadelphia 76ers in England, and another game will be played in China. So that is what is going to happen. You'll see Arsenal against Chelsea being played in Saudi Arabia or something, and you see another Barcelona game being played in Australia. You take the feeling out of it. Like remember the Europa League final against Chelsea, people didn't even travel to watch it. So they're trying to make that a weekly thing. The next thing they're going to do is to change the names of the football clubs to make it more Americanized and more like Middle Easternized, according to where the owners are coming from. So that is definitely not a thing I'd want to see. Cookie says, I've seen a good comment from him. If this competition was played maybe in during preseason, for example, would you agree with it?
If the competition was played during preseason,
like a preseason tournament, yeah.
Like, but it
yeah,
still
like
has
after the end of the season, after the season, yeah.
Still having the same structure?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't take
Why?
it.
What is the matter with the structure? Yeah.
Unless if you're telling me that you know it happens at the end of the season, you know.
Yeah.
And there is a format, you know, in which clubs will qualify for it because it's a league. Answer. So
Yeah.
if there is, if you tell us that the last two clubs next season they will not play, if Nice win the league in France, they can play. It's okay. It's okay. You understand? But if you're telling me that PSG will play for the next 23 years because PSG have a rich owner, no, that's not football. That's not football. You know, we want to see Shakhtar. You remember when Shakhtar had these, this enormous, Brazilian talent, in that period. You remember,
Yeah, Willian, Fernandinho, all of them. Yeah.
Exactly. Do you remember Zenit? St. Petersburg. The Hulk of this world. Yeah. You remember, Jose Mourinho, FC Porto.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of football. Borussia Dortmund, was it in 2012 or 2011 when they reached on the finals of the Champions
League? Yeah, Bayern against Bayern. Yeah,
they had a team that that worked all the way until that stage. So football must be by merit. That is it. That's why clubs. That is why clubs celebrate. To the bone marrow when they qualify for the Premier League, even when they are not going to win it. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah, but I couldn't believe last night when they tweeted it at the same time. Like, we are now friends with Tottenham and Man United and those teams. Like, they tweeted at the same time, like literally Tottenham are rivals. We are friends now. Let's tweet it at 10 p.m. Let's tweet it at 11 p.m. that we've joined the league. I was so amazed that it happened that quickly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we are,
and phone calls are just passing by. Hello, hello Glazer. What is it? Have you tweeted? Yeah, I've tweeted. Hello Aniel. It's not going to make sense. Actually, the rivalry has already been scrapped. By the way, let's talk about it. The rivalry has already been scrapped. Now, Arsenal playing Juventus, it's not going to be like there is a big rivalry. Inter Milan, AC Milan. Is it a derby now? It's not going to be.
Yeah.
We need to make what makes football, and this is why I always fume at VAR. The rivalry, the controversies, are what makes football interesting.
Yeah.
I used to watch Arsenal Manchester United, and someone could swing in across in a in a Manchester United box, and then West Brown, it's a clear handball. West Brown, but because he's on the bench, and the referee says no, it's not. And there is no machine to zoom in and zoom out and take in these calculations. It's so boring. It's making people very boring. You understand? Someone has to wait 2 minutes to go to celebrate a goal. So I score and I look at the machine, what the machine says, then they calculate, then I go in celebration. The moment has passed. You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, that's the problem. It's robbing us of the moments we love as football fans. Some of us are very far away from the UK, very, very far away. But you could listen to football on the radio and you feel the moments. You understand?
Yeah.
99th minute, and someone scores an offside goal, and we discuss that throughout the week until football in the next week. That is what we want to see.
It won't matter now if you win or lose because you're not going to get relegated. It doesn't matter. You're still going to be in the league because you own the league. That's another thing that amazed me and shocked me. These guys are the ones who are going to run the league. So if something happens with Chelsea, they can just say, we are also part owners as well. We don't want this to happen to us. So another thing I saw is the players being banned. What do you make of the players being banned, players who play in the competition? Because I don't think it's their choice. They're under the clubs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think those are very, very radical measures. I think FIFA and UEFA are trying to call upon players to rise up and fight against this, because really, if I'm under contract and I've signed to be loyal to the club, and play all the games, and it's my responsibility, it's my duty to play for my club. This is a job. I don't know if UEFA is looking at this as leisure. This is a job, and the players are tied under contract. So it's radical, but I think they're trying to call players, to fight against this. But again, you're putting players in a very, very difficult situation, because this is typically, looking at someone tied under contract. So they're putting them in a very difficult corner. It's so difficult. It's very difficult. But what I would say is, if you're banning Arsenal from the Premier League, do it. I agree. Do it. If you're banning Manchester United, do it. It is the clubs. It is the clubs. Because now these are private entities. Probably, Stan Kroenke has the highest number of shares in Arsenal. So this looks like a private entity. And UK is a place where private investors can make, start up establishments and and make their money. So these people, their defense is, this is a private entity that that is going to make money. We are going to pay we're going to pay tax or something. I don't know whether the UK government is going to fight as much as possible, because Boris Johnson has said that they're going to try to fight. But FIFA and UEFA coming out on the players right about now, try to let us see the action on the clubs first. Let us see, ban them. First and foremost, yes, it has been confirmed that these clubs will not be playing in the Premier League. Fabrizio said that it is still the decision. They will not play in the local leagues, domestic leagues, and any domestic competitions. But what we want to see is, if you've banned them, let them not continue Premier League this season. You understand? Let them not continue La Liga. Let them not continue Italian Serie A. Let them drop out of the Europa. But the problem with with UEFA and FIFA, they have always done these compromises. Remember with City, with the FFP saga, last season. There's a way they jumbled up, and they said, "Oh, City is okay to go. City is okay to go." Then it's like, what? And now it is biting, it's biting them, because these clubs have established that they have more power than UEFA, and now they have eaten it. You've let foxes into the door. They have eaten you. There's no one to blame. There's nobody to blame. So the players have not done anything. These radical measures are going against players. I'm playing for Arsenal in the Super League. Why can't I play for Congo? I mean, does it make sense? Why can't I play for Kenya? Why can't I play for England? You understand? What has Bukayo Saka done? You understand? Some managers like Thomas Tuchel didn't know about it. Mourinho has, I believe Mourinho has not been sacked. Mourinho has refused to train players for the European Super League, and he has been told, what? If you don't want to train players for the European Super League, let us pay you your 50 million, quit, and you leave. You understand? So the players have not done anything. Let's just be more practical. What has Saka done? He signed a new contract. Balogun has just signed a new contract, for example. He didn't sign to play in the European Super League. Probably. Maybe Mikel Arteta knew, because he's been singing about the unprecedented summer, and he's been speaking about how Arsenal are going to become great again in 3 years. Probably he knew. But some managers don't know even. Some managers didn't know. They are being asked questions in pre-match press conferences, and they're blubbering with words. We're going to. You understand? So the players have not done anything. The stakeholders at the grassroots level have not done anything. The problem that should be addressed is with the ownership and with the clubs at large and their management.
Yeah, before we get into the managers, would you have been ready to hear more about it if, let's say, before, because they announced it very suddenly, would you have been able to like listen to it more if they said, okay, listen, we're going to involve the fans, this is what is going to happen, let the fans vote, let's see if they agree to it, and the fans, let's say, vote 60% and agree with it? Would you be willing to hear about it more if the fans actually agreed with it as well?
Well, it depends, because the truth is that all fans cannot be, you know, all fans cannot be involved. You know, you're gonna have some UK fans involved, others, you know, but distant fans might not have, you know, been involved. But again, I want to say this: if the fans had voted for it, it wouldn't have stood. That's, you know, that's the first thing. And if fans had voted for it to stand, I would be, I wouldn't be disgusted. I would just quit football. I would just quit football. That's the truth. Because clearly, because the motive behind this, and you know, I don't know if I can see it around here and try to show you guys. Okay, I don't know.
It's money, basically.
It's money, basically. This is it. In addition, the competition will be built on a sustainable financial foundation, with all finding clubs signing up to a spending framework. In exchange for their commitment, founding clubs will receive an amount of 3.5 billion solely to support their infrastructure, investment plans, and to offset the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
You understand, Glenn? So it is for the money. So if any fan agrees to this, I've seen some fans and you know, standing on the other side, and they're trying to say that UEFA and FIFA are crying because money is getting out of their hands. It is true. It is true. Money is getting out of their hands, and power is also getting out of their hands. But the truth is, football is also being destroyed at the same time. So right now, let us fight for football. Okay. If it is UEFA you're fighting as fans, and you're fighting FIFA, let us have the European Super League, but let it be in the same format as, you know, as a normal sport. Anyone can qualify for it, and anyone can get that 3.5 billion. If you propose that format, trust me, the league will collapse, because they know giving 3.5 billion to Everton, and, you know, they're not going to raise that money by, you know, Sky paying billions and billions of money for people to watch Everton. You understand? Because Everton has finished among the top 4. You get it? So, you know, no fans could agree to this. And even if the fans had agreed to this, I wouldn't go for it. I still want to see the organized nature of football. Because, and today Thogna made a very important, you know, point. I said, what if this league collapses? What if it collapses? And Arsenal have been kicked out of, you know, domestic competitions and European competitions? Where do we go from there?
Back to conference and national league, from 6th, 7th division. That's how we need to start. So let's say we played Fulham, for example, this weekend. Let's say if they were invited to this competition, do you think they would have also said definitely yes to it?
Okay, I think what these men have done is they have taken advantage of a situation. And let me try to explain this. Barcelona are mired in debt worth 1 billion. 1 billion debt. You understand? And now you're looking at this. You're looking at this as, you know, as a runaway, as a getaway solution from your problems. Barcelona are looking at it and like, if we can get 1 billion to pay off our debts, because if you read around their situation, much of their debt has to be paid in the short run. So what's going to happen there is, these guys have taken advantage that, let us get Barcelona. They are struggling financially. Let us get Real Madrid. They are struggling financially. Let us give them money. You know, they can't refuse. Fulham is also struggling. They need money, so they wouldn't have refused. They wouldn't have refused. You know, if City, if Chelsea, who you think, you know, they're somewhere. You know, they're somewhere. UEFA has just scrapped the FFP. They're scrapping FFP to try to allow more money in football, so that, you know, the owners, the Kroenkas and so on can fund their teams. You know what's happening is, you know, these guys are like, no, we are going to give you loads and loads. So I know Fulham would have taken the opportunity because of the money. Because of the money. The pandemic has hit everybody hard. I've seen Dortmund posting their losses. I've seen clubs posting their losses, and it is very, 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 you know, I don't know, very, very respectable of Dortmund, of clubs like Bayern, that so far they have said we are not part of it.
So there's one team that is part of it, and let's say they didn't actually say which teams are actually in it, and they said that there are 12 teams that are going to join. Would you have thought Arsenal is there? Definitely.
Definitely. No, look,
definitely.
Minus saying the the names. When I had that, is it called JP Morgan, the bank, the American bank, JP Morgan,
American bank,
it's going to splash these amounts of money. I was my heart started racing, and I was like, Kroenke. You understand?
Yeah.
We were second on the list, man. We were second. No, look, I knew we were part of it. Trust me, I knew we were part of it. Of it. We are running a radical business model of get the money and leave everything else dry. You understand? That's what we've been doing for the past 2 decades. Arsenal sell Thierry Henry and buy Yaya Sanogo. You understand? So you don't tell me that a club that sells Thierry Henry to replace him with Yaya Sanogo is going to reject 3.5 billion. When has that happened?
Yeah. So do you think this is one of the reasons why Kroenke has been hesitant to sell the club? He knew this thing is going to be coming in the next 4 or 5 years.
You know what? I think I'm gonna say probably. I'm gonna say probably. Yeah, I'm gonna say probably, because now there is no way if he's going to be given close to probably if he can get access to almost 600 million or 700 million or $1 billion from this league, there is no way Dangote is gonna pull his pants and stand in front of him. That's gonna buy Arsenal. What are you saying? You have the money.
Yeah.
The money you've brought, I'm going to get in the competition and stay with my merchandise, so I can't sell to you. You understand? So, and I think it has been in the pipeline. That's the truth. I don't think it has just fallen. Because the reason as to why actually it has not just fallen. Before the announcement, UEFA had started panicking. Trying to panic. And it's like, what is this panic mode by UEFA? What are they trying to stop? So they were chasing smoke. Little did we know that the fire is already burning, above the levels. And this is so funny. Just hours later, it was confirmed that the league. So UEFA knew about it. Every governing body knew about it. But and I don't want UEFA and FIFA to make themselves clear of this, because I've seen the president of UEFA saying that he has never seen a man lie so many times and consistently and persistent as Agnelli, the chairperson of Juve, who was apparently the chairperson of ICA. That he's been lying persistently and consistently.
Vince McMahon as well said that Stan Kroenke is a terrible businessman. That's a big guy in US.
I've seen a tweet. Someone says, someone said that Kroenke should be arrested for impersonating himself as a good businessman, because he's a terrible one.
Yeah, he is. He's a very, very terrible one. So Leon Magic says if this happens, we'll finish 20th to 15th every season. The league.
Can I speak about that, Glenn? That is my Arsenal point of view, man. That is why I'm scared about all this. And they have not thought about of us as fans. We have endured as a person 15 years. This club, as a mediocre club, and I had this hope that probably one day I'll finish above West Ham again. One day I'll finish above Leicester City again. You know what they have done? They have lifted us from a house of dogs, and they have thrown us in a house of lions. You understand? If I'm finishing 9th below West Ham and below Southampton and below Leicester City and Tottenham, what am I going to do against Bayern and against Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and City, and what am I going to do? Because
you do realize they don't care about that. They just want the money.
I know they don't
Yeah.
care. And from an Arsenal perspective, this is why Arsenal fans, it has just proven that we are so deluded, very deluded. I've been some Arsenal fans who have been telling me, "Kosi, we are going to get that money and buy some players. Players, you're being thrown out of the most essential competitions. What are you going to use the players for? Even if you buy Haaland right now, it doesn't make sense. I've seen Spurs fans have gone to the streets. Liverpool fans have gone to the streets. United fans have gone to the streets. Arsenal fans, I've not seen the story unless I'm not informed that yet. I've not seen it. So from an Arsenal point of view, we are just going to be ridiculed there. We are just going to become. We are signing up as the Burnley of the tournament. And with all due respect to Burnley, we are signing up as the underdogs for 23 years. We have waited for around 20 years for Arsenal probably to become, great again. We are falling out of the top four for 4 consecutive years. Now we are going in we are going in a league where it's like being in a house where you're being a house with no exit, a prison with no exit, and it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. As in the footballing perspective, as an Arsenal fan, I'm not going to enjoy these games. It's going to be how much. No Arsenal fan is going to say we are going to play Bayern. Let's see how we shall perform. You can't beat Fulham for Christ's sake. You can't beat Fulham at the Emirates Stadium. You can't get 3 points against Burnley home and away in a two-legged phase. You can't. You get me? You
so
don't
the one thing you said.
Really?
Go ahead.
That's all. I was saying for now, for the past 5 years, we don't stand a chance against City. We don't stand a chance against Liverpool. We don't stand a chance against these big clubs. And now we are signing up for that league.
Yeah. So Arteta, as you said earlier, the managers didn't know. Like Tuchel said, he didn't know. So Arteta has also come out and said he didn't know anything about it. So do you definitely think that this is something that has been planned by the owners without involving any of the managers and the players, or do you think some of them are just saying no, just for the culture, just not to be blamed for it?
Some of them are doing it for the culture. Some of them are doing it for the culture. Because if this was the Mikel Arteta I knew 1 year ago when he had just signed up for the Arsenal job, going into press conferences and telling the journalists that, I think our midfield is shit. We need to work on our midfield. The quality of the players is not good. I would say he didn't know. The Mikel Arteta that has become, a state machine is, cannot convince me that he didn't know. He can't convince me that he didn't know. Really, he can't. I'm sorry, because he's my manager and I've got to give him the respect and I've got to give him the support. But there is no way I feel Mikel Arteta didn't know about it, because he's been speaking a lot of PR for Kroenke and Entertainment and Sports Limited. So how do I why would I believe him? He should give us the reason as to why we should believe him. There's no reason why we believe him. There's no reason.
Yeah,
I can't believe him. He has not given us the reason to believe him.
So we understand this competition is due to start as soon as August. So what would you do right now? Do you think it's too late, or do you think they can change their mind on this situation?
I don't know. I don't know whether the clubs that have signed up have already gotten the money. I don't know. Because now there are so many parties involved with different interests. That's the problem. You understand? Then you have the fans who feel like this shouldn't happen. You have the Sky Sports, BT, Amazon. You understand? That are going to reap huge amounts of money.
Yeah.
You understand? You also have the clubs themselves that have faced a lot of financial crisis in during the COVID-19 pandemic, and they're looking to revamp. Yeah. And you're also looking at these companies that have signed sponsorships with this league, and they're hoping to get back their money and plus profits. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think it has become very, very big. If it is going to be scrapped, there are going to be lots and lots of losses in it.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of losses in it. And that is why I thought that I said that we might have even if it's scrapped, we might have years and years of legal suits going on, to calm the situation down. Because now you're not fighting Kroenke and Joe Glazer and Roman Abramovich and Fiorentino Perez and Agnelli. Those are not the people you're fighting alone. You're fighting Amazon, BT, and Sky. You're fighting, any sponsorship. You're fighting JP Morgan, the bank. You're fighting so many things. You're fighting so many superpowers. That is what is happening.
Yeah, Leon, Matt, do you think Arsenal can compete in the Super League in the next 3 to 5 seasons? I'd say, especially for the players. Now, it doesn't mean that we've signed to the competition, we are able to sign Haaland. Chelsea as well in the same competition are able to sign Haaland. United did the same competition, able to sign Haaland. So I don't think we can benefit in that. Unless we were the only club there, then we'd benefit. But every other team you're competing with is there as well. So I don't think it will help us in any kind of way. The next 3 to 5 seasons, I'll tell you one thing for sure, Arsenal will not win any of the first 5 seasons. What do you think, Cousin?
I remember when Mikel signed Willian. Willian in his first interview, he said, "You remember?
Yeah.
Willian interview. He said the manager said they're going to win the UEFA Champions League in 3 years."
We are not even there anymore. We are not even there anymore. So,
and now
after how long do you think? Yeah. After how long do you think we'll compete in this competition? 10 years?
The problem of Arsenal has been that we have been on a self-sustaining model, spending less, and Kroenke taking the dividends away. Yeah. Unless the culture and the economic model of Arsenal are going to to change, to look like those of Real Madrid, that who is burning up is Mbappe. Yeah. We want Mbappe. Unless the culture and the models change, there is no hope for us. So people, let us not be deluded. The problem of Arsenal has not been that we are so poor we don't have money. The problem of Arsenal has been that when Kroenke takes the big dividends away, we are left with the leftovers. Those are the leftovers we use to buy the players. So unless the economic model changes, we are not going to compete in this, in this league. We are not going to be anywhere close to this league. And that's why you see that probably that's the reason as why we bought Partey last season. Is Kroenke tried to bribe us probably into it? I don't know. I just don't understand. Are they trying to say that we are going to start, competing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't understand, man. I just don't understand. But I don't think, 5 seasons to come.
Maybe this is the reason why we moved to the Emirates.
I don't know.
Maybe this is the reason we moved to the Emirates. Shiv asked today. Go ahead first.
What I wanted to say what I wanted to say is, if Arsenal have not been fighting for, for places of qualification, what about in the league where they know whether they have already qualified for the next season's championship and they have already gotten their money? What about in the age?
Yeah, well, whether you're last, whether it doesn't make sense. Shiv asked, do you think loads of players will leave the Super League so they can play for their country as well?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult. It's very difficult because if Saka wants to play for England and is leaving Arsenal, where is he going to go?
Yeah, that's the thing. No, it's very young. For the young players, it's a hard situation for them. For someone like Messi, Ibrahimovic, Ronaldo, it's okay. They've already won the Champions League numerous times. Maybe they want to win the World Cup, but they're about to retire, so it doesn't matter. But the young players like Saka, people who want to grow up and play in the World Cup, people like Mount, Greenwood, all these people like Sancho, all of them want to grow up. The likes of Joao Felix, they want to grow up, play in the World Cup, win the World Cup, compete for the big competitions, and now they're just in the European Super League. So, what if you are a player? What would you do personally? If you're asked, like, do you want to play for the European Super League, for the teams and earn a lot of money, or do you want to go and play for the in the other competitions with other teams? What would you do?
Well, it depends on your motives and principles. Personally, if I were a player, the first thing I would look at is what, first and foremost, what is my legacy? I want to play for my country. Some of us are coming from countries where if you do anything great for your country, you're gonna be remembered. You're gonna be, you're gonna be put into, you know, graffitis and so on onto the walls. You understand?
Yeah.
The money is important, and we have to agree. Unless the players are also greedy, these players are getting some good money weekly. You know, annually they're signing for millions of money annually. They're getting some good money. Good players are getting good money. You know, and there's some clubs that, like Wolves and Leicester City, they're playing that are paying players like Vardy and players like, you know, Madison, you know, to resign their contracts, and they're paying them some good money. So the players are getting good money. There is no reason as to why you want to go to, you know, this league, and you know, you have to think about, you know, the garden before you think about, you know, eating everything. So think about the garden. Football is the garden. We have come through the academies and everything, because they have said they're going to be, you know, open up. They're going to open up a women's league and so on, and then the academies. Then I'm asking myself, how many players have come from the Arsenal academy? What if they say that those 20 clubs, they don't come, you know, they'll buy players amongst themselves? And FIFA says you can't sign players, you know, outside your league. What's going to happen? So, you know, you've got to think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is football is at stake. The bigger picture is not me as a player. And players, I pray that players, I don't want them to violate their contracts, because that could lead into, you know, serious legal conditions. But if it is collective actions, I don't know whether players have, you know, unions, players unions and so on. But if it is collective actions, I agree. Let us, you know, let them go for collective action. You know, they have not been consulted. They're stakeholders. It's like are they trying to mean that, you know, football has become a money cow? You milk dollars and pay off your problems and throw at your problems. That's not it. So the problem, the players, they can help us fight this. But I don't really blame them. There is nothing. You know, they have to say about.
Last couple of questions. Cookie says apparently the government over here wants to use everything they can to stop the teams. Do you think they can stop the teams? Because for me, I always imagine these guys are the owners of the club. So don't they decide what they're going to do with the club? They have all the money. They want to do anything with the club. I don't know. Can the government just say Arsenal cannot go into this league, because it's up to Arsenal to go into whichever league they want?
I just want to remind people that I think it was 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago, when Napoli had issues with the Italian Serie A, and the owner of Napoli had threatened to take Napoli out of the league. So the issue is that it is true Arsenal is based in London, and this football club has a long line of history and heritage, and that's why, you know, you see that whenever it's playing West Ham, it's a London derby. It's not an Arsenal West Ham. You know, it's not just Arsenal West Ham. It's a London derby. So we play London derbies. We have these rivalries. There's a lot of, you know, heritage and history written on this club. But the truth is, if these boys, if these men want to take these clubs out of the
rich men,
if they want to take these clubs out of, you know, the league, they can. Because it's like their property. They have they have shares. You know, because if you look at some of the clubs in Germany, the fans have a say. You understand? The fans have a say. The fans can say, no, we don't agree with that. You understand? Because they own at least 45 or 30% or 20%. In England, do the Glazers hold 100%?
And they own it as a family. I think every one of them has some stake, part of it.
Exactly. So the fans are there as, you know, we are cheering our team. You know.
And I can see Villa fans in the chat. I can see Leeds fans in the chat. I can see Liverpool fans. The Liverpool fans, Shiv saying he wants them to lose tonight. Does it even matter whether they win or lose tonight, or will Leicester just get the trophy anyway? It really is crazy. So last question for you: if you're not supporting Arsenal anymore, which team are you supporting next? Dortmund. Wow. Okay, you're going outside England, eh? Okay, you're going outside England. Okay, I'm going to maybe the League One or something, Sunderland or something. Let's come back up with Sunderland. Let's support a meaningful team that actually are following the principles in the world of English football. So yeah, what time are you doing your live stream?
9:30.
That is 7:30 UK time, so I'll be live on his channel as well to talk about this. Cookie says the UK government and the league together can prevent them from creating their own division as far.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
let's hope so. Let's hope so. But with the money, these guys can just pay off the government as well. These guys are
Yeah,
billionaires. If they put their money together, oh, they're gonna buy them as well. Boris is just gonna say nope. I'm also up for it. I'm also up for it as well. So yeah,
yeah,
that's the latest on Arsenal. Yeah, go ahead.
and I think it was a big problem by the UK authorities not to oversee this. Not they should have overseen this and put some kind of control. They should have put
Yeah.
some kind of control. But now it looks like they have let all the power into these guys' hands, and there's nothing there's nothing that could be done.
So yeah, that's the latest news on that. I'm sure we'll be getting more news on that as well. As of now, the teams that have joined are Juventus, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Inter Milan, and Tottenham. Like these teams, I think the last time Inter Milan won a league title was 2010. I think the last time AC Milan won one was 2011. I think Arsenal was 2004. Tottenham 1961. So these are not even teams that have been dominating recently. I mean, maybe the likes of Juventus, yes, and the likes of Man City have been dominating recently, but these other teams, I think it's actually a fluke that they're there. I actually think it's a fluke that they're there. Maybe let me check the last couple of comments. Look at Boris Johnson's Twitter. I'll check it out. We'll come and check them out. So yeah, thank you, Cozy, for coming on.
Thank you, Glenn, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a sad day for football. Let's see what happens. A lot of developments expected to happen in the next couple of days. Obviously, thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.